speaking, I do not see it.
You allege that Peter Obi is working for Tinubu's re-election.
Yes.
What are the things you saw that made you came to that conclusion?
Yes, in 2023, I suspected that there is no possible way that he could have left the main opposition political party and go to, on his own, solo, to go and form another political party or join another political party and defeat an incumbent political party, which was the APC as then. My suspicion was that if somebody who has been a two-time governor, who knows the dynamics of Nigerian politics, that he could not have done so, except if maybe he did it to aid Tinubu. Again, the remarks of Yes and Wike that they were working together, that they agreed that Atiku must not win, that power must remain in the south, and that Wike said it. Go and watch, the video is there. Wike said it, that they agreed that anyway, all over in the south, it's either Tinubu will come first, or Peter Obi will come second, or Peter Obi will come first, Tinubu will come second. And there was an agreement. So, as a student of political history, I knew that there are things that Wike did not say, that there was an agreement of some sort. So I suspected that, but what I didn't know, I didn't even know that he pulled down numbers. What I didn't know was that he was going to use religion in that last election. I didn't know that he was going to use religion to campaign in that election. Because of the Muslim ticket of the Tinubu and Shetima APC ticket, it gave leeway for him using religion. And there are so many, things that were done in the build-up to the election, like moving from church to church, then talking with men of God.
Those were campaigns.
Campaign shouldn't degenerate to that level where a presidential candidate will be saying the election is a religious war. It should never get to that point. Because whenever campaign degenerates to that level, we are setting an evil and a bad precedence in the country. And somebody will come one day and move from mosque to campaign.
It does happen. People do it.
Even when
it's just that we don't get to hear about it, but it happens.
Even when people do it, you don't see frontline major politicians moving from mosque to mosque like the way Peter Obi did in the last election. It is wrong. We must not encourage it. We must not leave it as a legacy. Neither must we encourage our children to do same. Because when you do it, you divide the nation. You divide the nation along religious, ethnic, and political. We saw during the last election where Reverend Fathers were saying that any member of their church that does not vote Peter Obi, that they will excommunicate the person. That was taking politics too far. Yes, APC, we will blame APC that APC was the one that was responsible by feeding the Muslim ticket. They annoyed the church. We will blame them. However, even them that did the Muslim ticket, they did not move from mosque to mosque campaigning. That is why I suspected that he worked for Tinubu in that election to divide and check it. All the votes he took in the last election were the original votes of PDP. Now that the opposition is at its weakest, Tinubu then was an outsider. Many people who were close to Buhari said in that 2023 election, Buhari worked with Atiku, his fellow northern brother. He worked with him to undermine Tinubu. Tinubu came as an outsider to win that election. Tinubu is now in the villa. He's the president. There's no Emefiele to do Naira redesign. There's no church, take back your country. It's not going to happen like in the last election. There's no, this election is a religious war. It's not going to happen in this election. Because now, many people have come to realize that this Tinubu is like, he doesn't even have religion. Because the fear then was that if he comes, you Islamize the country. And he's coming with Shetima. People were afraid. Now, the dynamics have changed. Peter has gone to pick Kwankwaso. Let's see whether the ticket between him and Kwankwaso, let's see whether it can even secure them a second position in the coming election. So, right now, I'm of the view that anyone that agrees, both Bala Mohammed, Sheyi Makinde, Adeleke, the dancing governor, Oti, Peter himself, Atiku, I believe that all these people are working for Tinubu. Because there is no basis for dividing a weak opposition. If a divided opposition in 2023 could not defeat Tinubu, an outsider, is it now that it will defeat? Because maybe if I'm not making sense, maybe you should tell me. If a weak opposition could not divide an outsider, is it now that he's in charge that they will defeat him? Does it make any sense for the division? Somebody said, oh, it was Obasanjo. Some people were on the internet were saying it was Obasanjo that advised them that they should leave the ADC. I said, Obasanjo, how? How does that make sense? That anybody will advise you to leave a weak opposition to go and form another opposition, and you listen to such a person? How is that possible? I refuse to believe that Obasanjo will make such an advice, because these are supposed to be astute politicians. These are people that know the country. It's just like for anybody saying that it is possible for me to win an election in Kogi where they are sharing rice and they are sharing money at a polling unit, and somebody is telling you that me, I can win an election there. It's not possible. It's not possible. So the ability for us to see the truth and tell ourselves the truth is what makes us truthful people.
You have consistently maintained that the opposition is weak and cannot defeat Tinubu.
Yes.
But is there a scenario where you foresee the likelihood of defeating Tinubu among the present candidates?
Yes.
And if, let's have your honest assessment among these candidates,
yes,
the scenario, and among these candidates,
yes,
who you think
yes,
can pull that surprise?
So, if Goodluck Jonathan truly enters the race, which I know he will not, because I know Goodluck Jonathan, he will not enter the race. If Goodluck Jonathan truly enters the race, we will now have 6 major southern candidates running against one northerner. The only people that Tinubu is afraid of in this election is northern Nigeria. He knows that the south is already done and dusted. Even right now that Goodluck Jonathan has not entered the race, Tinubu is still afraid of northern Nigeria. If they have a way, they'll make sure that Atiku is not on the ballot. And if you follow the trend of the last election, Atiku's votes, they purely came from the north. Majority of Atiku's votes came from the north. And even at that, they massively rigged Atiku in the last election. Massively. Go ask around. Ask people that were at the election venues. So if Goodluck Jonathan truly enters the race to further divide southern votes, I see a scenario where if the north are determined, because it's one thing for elections to happen in the north, it's another thing for the north to be determined that there will be no rigging. Because the truth of the matter is, we lie and kid ourselves if we say that they don't rig elections in Nigeria. They rig elections almost everywhere in Nigeria. But the possibility of not rigging election or resisting rigging in the north is higher, because the northerners, they have the capacity to stop rigging of elections, especially when they are determined. So if they are truly determined that there will be no rigging of elections, the possibility of Atiku winning the election is very possible. It's very high. So in that scenario, then an Atiku can defeat the incumbent. But you see, my analysis of this is inclined and hinged on the fact that maybe if Goodluck Jonathan enters the race. Because you see, what happened in the last election, where Peter Obi held sway in the southeast, he will not pull those kind of numbers again. Because if you as a student of political history, if you keenly observe the APC primaries, you will discover that for the first time since the Fourth Republic, we have a situation where we now have the incumbent government political party has almost 32 governors. 32 governors. It has never happened before. And the other 4 governors are working for the president, directly or indirectly, whether you and I can prove it or not. Because if they are not working, look at the comment of Alex Oti severally. Look at the comment of Adeleke severally. Adeleke even said that they've approved Tinubu as their candidate in accord. Look at the comments of Seyi Makinde and the things that Wike have said about Seyi Makinde, that Seyi Makinde kept meeting the president. You recall what he said. Look at Bala Mohammed, his body language. So all these people, if you look at the APC primaries, it's like they were trying to outdo themselves to please the president in that primaries. It's like everybody wanted to show more psycho fancy, that Mr. President, We are here for you. We will do anything for you. So they will not be able to pull in the south. The people that are contesting that think that they'll be able to pull the numbers will no longer be able to pull the numbers. Even in Oyo, where Seyi Makinde reigns supreme today as governor, if care is not taken, Tinubu will likely defeat him. Even though he's running as a presidential candidate in Oyo, Tinubu is likely going to defeat him there. So the numbers, and all Tinubu needs to do in the next election is to get those votes in the south, get those votes in the southeast, get the majority votes in the southwest, come to the north central, eat into the north central. Then he has most of the governors in the north are working with him, and the political leaders. They will have done their numbers and get the numbers. Unlike the last election, no, just like the last election, he has a sitting governor. If Abba Gida was still in the opposition, you will have said Kano would be difficult for them. So they will still get significant numbers in Kano, even with Konkoso running. In fact, it will be very hard for Konkoso to convince people to vote Peter Obi in Kano. It will be very hard, and you will see it.